Welcome to Live Without a Car, the show where we talk about everything from the logistics of living without a car to the financial savings and lifestyle benefits. I'm Amanda, and I have lived without a car for nearly a decade in Portland, Oregon. I am also an economist and your host, and today's episode explores how to visit family for the holidays without renting a car. Let's start with the pressure. Holidays often revolve around movement. Airport pickups, grocery trips for big meals, holiday shopping, visiting multiple relatives in one day, etc. The default assumption is that you'll rent a car because, of course, you need one, especially if you're traveling somewhere that's more suburban or rural. But here's the thing. Needing a car and being expected to have a car are two very different things. Renting a car can easily add hundreds of dollars, if not thousands, to your holiday budget once you factor in fees, insurance, gas, and the number of days you will need to keep the car. So the question isn't just logistical, it's financial. Avoiding a rental car can meaningfully lower the cost of your holiday, especially if you're already paying for flights, gifts, and possible lost income from work. So before you rent that car, ask yourself the following. How many hours per day will you actually be driving around? Is it possible to travel and commute with other friend and family members in their vehicles for certain activities? Are you traveling solo or with quite a few people? Traveling with more than 3 or 4 people can make it more difficult to use certain rideshare options and more expensive to buy individual transit tickets depending on the location. Will you be responsible for any errands while you are visiting loved ones? Will you be arriving during the day when transit is in operation or overnight when there are fewer options? These questions will help you decide if your rental car is a necessity or just an option. Now let's talk about planning. Many airports are far better connected by transit than people assume. Before you travel, look to see if your airport is connected to the following alternatives. Rail options like Amtrak or local rail lines, express buses, rideshare like Uber and Lyft and taxis, and direct hotel shuttles often free of charge. If you're going somewhere with limited transit, consider whether you can take transit to the nearest town or transit hub and have a relative meet you there. That can possibly cut their drive time dramatically and reduce the pressure on both sides. Instead of asking, can you drive me 45 minutes each way to and from the airport, it becomes, can you pick me up at the train station 10 minutes away? That's a much easier ask. Many years ago, when I traveled to Los Angeles, I saved my friend over 2.5 hours of round-trip travel time by simply taking Amtrak near LAX to a train station just 5 minutes from her house. As I mentioned in previous podcasts, I also regularly travel back to Florida to visit family, and although it is harder to get around without a car, it is absolutely possible and financially viable for short-term trips. I use a combination of Amtrak, Uber, carpooling with friends, airport shuttles, and staying in hotels in walkable areas. So while the cost of using these options is not $0, it is much less money and exhaustion from renting a car of my own and having it sit idle for the majority of each day. So this holiday season, I encourage you to rethink this year's travel and ask yourself, what could I do with the extra money I could potentially save from not renting a car? Thanks for listening to Live Without a Car. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe and share with a friend. Until next time, walk slowly and enjoy the scenery. Ciao!